In this video, we're going to take a look at trading bots as a service. I want to share my thoughts with you guys on different projects that are offering different styles of trading bots as a service. So stay tuned and enjoy the video. Now, the three projects in question today we're going to be talking about are Horde, Astrobit, as well as StableFun. So we're going to take a look at these three, starting off with Horde. As we all know, over the last month or so, they came out with their zombie NFTs, which was going to be this trading bot as a service for people to purchase NFTs, and these were the NFTs that were available for us to mint. There was a bit of a plot twist because depending on the NFT you minted, you were entitled a certain percentage of the trading bot revenues, depending on the rarity of your NFT. But all that to say is that people who purchased this NFT basically pooled their money together in order to get monthly returns. Now, if we take a look at some of the stats here, depending on the NFT that you were able to mint, you can see that you had a different rarity score, and depending on that rarity score, we have an average amount of money that that NFT would generate you on a monthly basis. Now, of course, this project specifically is going to compound some of the profits in the hopes that in the future years, you're going to make more money per month with your NFT. Now, if we just take a look at the most probable case, as we can see, the chances of minting a rarity from 1 to 20 is around 85%. So we can assume that most people who minted one of these NFTs are making about $10 per month. Now, as we recall, to buy one of these NFTs, you had to pay $400. And if we just take into account that you're making $10 per month on this, it's going to take you roughly 40 months to make your money back. Now, these numbers are not going to account for compounding, and it's also assuming about a 16% return on these bots on a monthly basis. So as we can see, this investment, and again, I'm not bashing Horde by any means, it's a great service for people who don't want to be actively trading or actively monitoring a position. This is a way that people can buy an NFT, have a sunk cost, and over the months to come, they can start making that money back. Now, for other people, that may not be the right route, and you may want to have more control over your funds and not necessarily have an initial sunk cost, because this $400 that you potentially put into Horde, you are going to have to wait a few months, if not several months, or if not years, to make your money back. Now, this brings us to our second set of projects, which is going to fall in line with the services that StableFun offered and is going to offer with their V2. So in this case, you are depositing your own money into a platform and you are locking it for a certain amount of time. As we know, StableFun, you are locking your investment for 28 days in the hopes that after 28 days, you could withdraw your initial deposit as well as any profits that came from that investment. Now, this was obviously a much different service than what Horde was offering with their trading bots as a service. Here we were guaranteed a 1.5% daily return on our investment, which is absolutely insane if you think about it. And now they are going to be going to a 1% per day for 5 days a week for their V2 version. But all that to say, if we look at the service they were offering, you were depositing money in this platform, you were locking it for 28 days. That was basically your risk. The risk was the 28-day lockup period, and every day you could come in and cash in your rewards, which would be 1.5% of your daily deposit. Now, as we can see with a project like StableFun, there isn't a sunk cost, and that's probably one of the main reasons why this one blew up so fast. You only had to lock it for 28 days, and you were making 1.5% per day. Now, the downside of StableFun was that you had to take your money from your own wallet and deposit it into StableFun's wallet, even though it was your wallet on StableFun. We all know that if they're not your keys, they're not your coins. And this is exactly what happened over the last few weeks. We saw StableFun shut down absolutely everything, and people who had money in StableFun basically had their money locked because StableFun had control over everyone's money. So again, there isn't a sunk cost on this one, but there is still a major risk because you don't necessarily have access to your funds throughout the entire time you're invested in this project. So if we compare the two different services, one, we had Horde trading bots as a service. You have a sunk cost, but then you're going to be making money on a monthly basis. Now, if we take a look at StableFun, obviously the risk of this one was locking your money up for 28 days. We kind of saw how that happened, as well as any money inside of StableFun was basically subject to get locked anytime the team felt like it should. We saw that happen, and that was the major risk. Now, the upside to StableFun was obviously making 1.5% daily, regardless of market conditions. So this brings me to the third and final project, which offers a whole different service than the Horde trading bots as a service, and also completely different from StableFun. Now we're taking a look at Astrobit, which is a website that strategists offer their strategies for people to buy, and then their bots connected via an API to an exchange of your choice, where they trade for you depending on the strategy you've selected. So if we take a look at the marketplace on Astrobit, here we are greeted with a bunch of different strategies, and these strategies are created by different strategists. Now they have swing trading strategies, they also have dollar cost averaging, and they also have a whole wide range of different crypto coins depending on what you may want to trade. So as we scroll down on this page, we see the different strategies available to us. You see the different coins that these strategies trade, as well as how much these strategies cost per month. So each of these strategies have a different price, and you can go into the strategy and learn more about every single one of these strategies. And then if you want to purchase it, you are going to have to purchase the strategy as well as the bot that is offered by Astrobit. So there is two components to this. There is the strategy, which is made by the strategist, and then there is the bot, which is going to be able to connect to your exchange of choice via an API, and that is how the bot is going to trade for you. So you are going to incur two monthly costs. You're going to incur a monthly cost for the strategy, and you're also going to incur a monthly cost for the bot itself. So if we take a look at the amount of money I have in Astrobit, I have about $1,100 here, and that money is actually found inside of my Bybit account. So I can always log into Bybit. I can go withdraw that money whenever I want, however I want. I can also go here and customize these bots however I would want to. I can go ahead and close out of positions. I can set different stop losses if I want to do so. As we can see, it's very easy to go in and control your bots even though you are paying for these bots. Now, of course, it all depends on your strategy. You can take profits as soon as you're in profits, but the way I am looking at this, I'm looking at it as a long-term investment, and I'm just going to let the bot do its thing and buy and sell crypto without having to manually go in and do anything. So if we take a look at the pros and cons of Astrobit, obviously you are going to have monthly fees on this one. You are going to have to pay for the bot as well as for the strategy. I do have a link in the description below where I offer 20% off the first month of the Astrobit bot, as well as elevate trading strategies. So you can definitely take a look at that if Astrobit is something you are interested in. But that is definitely something you need to consider before investing in Astrobit. Now, personally, I wouldn't recommend coming in here with only $50 or $100 because the monthly fees are going to be higher than what your potential profit could be. So obviously you have to look at your own financial situation in order to make that decision. But if we take a look at the pros of this platform, you always have access to your funds. They are never locked. They're not guaranteeing you a certain amount of money on a daily basis. It is literally controlled by an API via your exchange of choice, and you always have access to the funds within that exchange. Now, of course, it's super easy to set up a bot, and you can also tweak the bot as you are in a position. You can close out of a position, and you can take profits whenever you want. So to conclude, it all depends on what you want to do with your money, because we've taken a look at a service like Horde's trading bots as a service where you purchase an NFT for a certain price. That is a sunk cost, and then over time you make your money back in the hopes of making profits. Now, of course, you don't have to worry about anything. All of the trading is done for you, and you can sit back and relax and enjoy that. We've also taken a look at a project like StableFun, guaranteeing you a certain percent per day, having a lockup period with all of what's happened with StableFun. I personally am no longer a fan of this. I was always skeptical, and the whole point of this platform here to lock your money up for 28 days is a very big risk, and we've seen it happen live in front of us where they've literally just locked everyone out. Now, we all know that they are giving refunds to people, but personally, I like to have access to my funds. I don't necessarily like to have a sunk cost, and I personally like to be in control and see what is happening in the back end of things, and whether or not my bots are making money or losing money, and whether or not I can see the actual trades. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace.